All right, guys, welcome back. So this is where we left off at. This is the HTML editor. Long story short, we're able to drag and drop components in, and it will add them to the preview side, which is over here on the right. Let's just call this the canvas, right? So going forward, this is the editor, and this is the canvas. There was a few bugs from what we had before, which is basically whenever you grab this divider in the middle, then it kind of glitches and it won't let you move it. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. So we're gonna have to address that. So we're gonna baby step forward, and instead of building on top of it, where we have a huge mess in like spaghetti code, we're just gonna start troubleshooting and fixing things one piece at a time. And what I'm also thinking, what might be helpful here is having more of a blueprint of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to figure out a format for that, and then I'll share it, whatever. And we'll see what works out and what doesn't. But first things first, let's get this website builder started. Let's start Claude up. We started Claude up. So what I want to do is I want to start sharing the context of what we're doing. So over here, I have a Claude chat window started up. And what I'm going to do is share with it my source files, index, main. Right now we're at 8% capacity. Preload, tailwind, Vite. It might need the Vite config, I'm not sure. But it doesn't need the package. It doesn't need the, it doesn't need the git ignore, and it doesn't need the Claude files. Let's add them. So this is the general chat. So what I found works best for me is instead of talking straight to Claude Code and telling it to start editing stuff and start making things, what works better for me is having a conversation with Claude, the chat LLM, and then it telling me what we're gonna tell Claude Code. It's just like another layer of abstraction, I guess you could say, where I'm doing less of the engineering and just more of the scaffolding and architecting, and using Claude to help articulate the message that I'm trying to get across. I guess you could do it all, try to one-shot code everything, but that's not what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna try to build it methodically. So let's get started. So I'm gonna basically just refresh Claude with an update on where we're at with the code. I linked to it the GitHub repo, which is a public repo. It's called Publisher. What it's doing is just saying, hey, what a good job we did. A recommendation, don't rush the drag and drop builder yet, which is very intelligent. Right now, the current editor has tons of potential. It's easier to implement, it's good learning experience, which is what we're doing this project for. Tutorial content, something I can speak about, and it's actually useful for users. What we want to do now is we want to debug why this slider, the divider in between the editor and the canvas, it gets stuck. So we're just going to do baby steps, one issue at a time. And so I'm gonna ask Claude that, and then we're going to see how to articulate the message to get it fixed. So the reason I'm doing this is so I learned the format on how to craft messages, how to articulate to Claude Code a little more clear, so that I can get better responses from Claude, so it builds a little better. So what I'm doing is we come up with a problem description, what we suspect the issues are, we give it an idea on a debugging approach, we tell it our expected outcome, and then we tell it our acceptance criteria. Wow, okay. That kind of reminds me of you know, you come like the scientific method, right? Where you come up with a hypothesis and all that jazz. So I pasted that into Claude Code, and we're gonna see what it does. And while it's working, I've been working on trying to get a fish barrel in old school RuneScape. So it looks like it's stuck still. All right, so the way I'm trying to explain it to this guy now is, so the issue is still persistent even after the fix. I do notice that if I drag the mouse slowly when I have the divider selected, that it grows and shrinks within acceptance. Still not perfect. But if I move too fast, then the handle gets dropped, if that makes any sense. So I'm seeing if this Claude Sonnet 4.5 can help me articulate that to Claude Code Sonnet 4.5. It has a way of explaining things, kind of like Forrest Gump's mom, able to explain things to Forrest. Oops, did not work? There we go, 52 lines. I like this analogy that Claude Code Sonnet used to explain Claude used to explain to itself, to its code variant, which is, it's like the divider is losing track of the mouse cursor when it moves too quickly. The mouse outruns the divider tracking, causing the drag to disconnect. See, I wouldn't have been able to come up with that on my own, but it did find a way to explain that to Claude Code CLI. So I think doing it this method, for me at least, helps send more targeted prompts to Claude so that we get it done quicker. So it's not like 5 reruns, it's just once. All right, it says that it did it. Wait, we have a few of these guys open. I don't know if this is the one. So to get rid of the confusion, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kill all Electron instances and restart a new one in dev. Okay, there's one. Usually it spins up 2, which is kind of curious to me, but whatever. All right, let's see what we got. Still not good. I mean, it kind of works, it kind of doesn't. It's still not that expected user behavior. So what did it say it did? So we're gonna tell it it did a good job. It did. It came up with something way better than I would have had. The problem is that it's still not fixed. So what we get here is, well, it shrinks, no problem. Okay. You know what? I think we did get improvement. And if you notice down here, it's calculating the sizes, which is pretty cool, but it's still not good enough. So where we're at now is it shrinks really well. Now it's the expanding part. And we're gonna go straight to Claude Code for this. How did Claude articulate it last time? The mouse is still outrunning the divider tracking. So it's shrinking really well, but the expanding piece still needs some adjusting. Do you have any ideas how we can dial that in? The mouse is still outrunning the divider tracking when I try to make the editor larger. So when I try to make the editor larger, it loses track. Come on, buddy, let's go. This is pretty cool. So this is way better to me than trying to use, what do you call it? I forgot what it was now, Stack Overflow. It's been so long. So instead of using Stack Overflow in Google and then trying to figure out how to write something, you just tell it in English what you want it to do, and then it starts putting it together. Oh, there was a memory issue from excessive console logging. Let me restart and reduce the logging verbosity. You know what? That's smart. So it was over logging and it was causing the Electron app to crash. I didn't even know you could do that. I've never logged that much before. We still only have one instance open, good. It hasn't been doing multiples. Okay. It's improving. You know what? We're getting there. That feels like steady progress because now it shrinks no problem. And it's doing a better job at tracking that divider across changes. Okay, so I told it, wow, that is a lot better. It's still not good enough from a UX perspective, but we're making progress. So now the question is, how can we optimize and build on what you did to get us this far? So basically what you did, let's multiply it. Let's try to improve, let's try to increment it forward. How it works, during the drag, you manipulate the DOM directly. Zero React re-renders, instant updates. So it's not re-rendering the UI, it's just manipulating the DOM, giving it sizes instead. It doesn't re-render the update until the drag completes. Wait, what are you doing? Let's see if it did anything. No, it's worse. Now it's stuck. All right, that's terrible. I think it was saying something about debounce renders. Okay, so what happened was the problem got a lot worse. We need to undo what's been done on that last run and rethink how to approach this. See, that's what's awesome about this. We can iterate super fast. So before, let's just say we came up with that idea of however we just did that last run of what it did to improve. Imagine that, we would have had to write all that code and then bam, doesn't work. So now we have to undo it all. So I told it, it got a lot worse. We need to undo what's been done on that last run and rethink how to approach this. I did like that debounce idea for re-rendering rendering child re-renders. So basically don't re-render until the child's components until at the end. Debounce them. So basically debouncing means if you do a whole bunch of changes at once, don't keep trying to change it like da, 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 da. Just like give it a time delay basically. So do a whole bunch, da, 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 then you stop, then it goes, it snaps. Does that make any sense? I don't know. So I'm going to tell the other Claude that Claude Code CLI is suggesting to debounce the child component re-renders. Oh, you know what? It's saying that's not the problem. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stop this guy. Oops, paste. And we're going to paste in these 22 lines, which is the debouncing will make the fast drags worse, not better. The dropping handle problem during fast drags is an event capture issue, not a performance issue. You see, that's crazy how these two things are basically the same model, but they do different things. So I think in the local LLM world, you have your Quen 3 coder kind of thing, and then your Quen 3. And I don't know if you ever played with them, I have. And basically, I can talk to Quen 3 and get better responses, but then I tell it to use the Quen 3 coder to build something, and it's able to tell it what to do better. It's crazy. It's like you have your higher thinking model and your lower thinking model. And I would have thought that for $100 a month that they would build all that into one on the Claude. I mean, they probably do to a degree, but for some reason, this method seems to be working better. If anything, it helps me slow down and think of each problem one at a time instead of, hey, Claude, add some bells, add some whistles. It's like, okay, this is the kind of bell that we want, and here's what we want it to do, kind of thing. And right now it's doing something. Wow, now that is buttery smooth, my guys. Okay, that freaking worked. Wow. Okay, so instead of going down a rabbit hole with Claude Code CLI, we ended up using a Claude code to unpack what the problem was, and then we were able to solve it. Like that is 100 times better. Now we have to figure out why this click me isn't working. But before we do that, all right, so what did it do? During drag, user clicks the divider, blah, blah, blah. After drag, mouse up. iframe editor restore, full interactivity restored. Why this works. This is the standard pattern for handling drag operations over iframes and embedded content. Oh, implementation. So pass an is dragging state from the split pane to the preview component. Oh, got you. My God. So I'm gonna send some feedback. You know the crazy part is I'm paying like $100 a month to use this software while improving it. I mean, it's cool in the sense that this is gonna make it better for everybody, but it kind of sucks how I'm getting charged for this. But in the end, it does help. All right, so I'm telling them on their feedback, it worked. I'm using Claude Sonnet to articulate to Claude Code, and it's pretty effective. So I'll continue to do this, even if I pay for a tool, whatever. I'll just, I'll help it get better. The only thing that's gonna suck is if we make it really good by adding to it. It's not an open source project. It's a private company product. So they just take it, improve it, and then charge you more for it. But what can we do? This is the world we live in right now. All right, so 5 stars, very well done. Let's go ahead and comment, commit, and push to GitHub. This will make a great save point. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna push this bad boy to GitHub so that if we make a breaking change, we have a restore point. We have somewhere that we can come back to, a checkpoint, if you will. Oh, in case you don't know, actually, I'm doing a no-no right now, but I don't know if how far this project's gonna go or not, but I'm committing straight to production, to the main branch on everything I do. See, origin, main. Typically, you don't want to do that. You want to have your development branch and then your production branch or whatever, and then your testing. So, or however you set it up, that's how I would set it up. So every change I do goes straight to the main. So this works now because not a lot of people are working from it. It's only me. But I guess I should set it up in the future where I have a development branch that I'm working on, and then I just do my pull request from there. So we're gonna baby step forward, right? We solved one problem, which is this divider right here not working. So that's cool. So now we have one more button. This click me button isn't clicking. It's not doing anything. So what we can do, we hit new, which adds all this code all over again. We have the JavaScript in there. We have the button in here. Oh, now it's working. So something must have happened. Interesting. On the initial push, it doesn't work, but it does now. The problem we had that we started with, that we wanted to solve, was getting this divider to work. Divider works. It's fantastic. It works great. You saw how I was able to work through with Claude, the chat, to articulate the message, craft it, then give it to Claude Code CLI to do the actual work. So I think I'm starting to figure out a pretty solid process here of coding in this way. It's less coding and more like, it's not even architecting. I don't even think this is software engineering, honestly. This is just vibe coding, I guess, where we're just we're building something just by using words. So I don't know. Let's continue to build. Stay tuned.